Hello student, my name is Somo and today we're going to start with lesson number 1, querying data in our Oracle course. I hope you all are doing well, so let's continue. Now in this slide, we're going to discuss about query. Now, you all might be coming across different types of queries in your offices, in your organizations, or in your project works in colleges. So what is a query? A query is nothing but retrieving records from a database table and producing the data in the form of a report. So below there are certain queries listed, like how many employees are above 55 years of age, how many employees earn salary above $7,000, what is the percentage of patients referred to other hospitals in current year compared to last year. Might be your supervisors are asking you like this different types of questions or queries every day. So being a SQL query specialist or a database professional, you have to retrieve these data or informations in time, and you need to produce in the form of a report in front of them in order to take important decisions. So first of all, we're going to discuss what is a SQL. SQL is nothing but a tool. Okay, it is a language. It is often pronounced as SQL. So it is a tool using which we request information from the database and present it in the usable form. Now, database is something called logically related. It's a collection of logically related data. Here you see a table like representation is given where student informations are kept. It is nothing but a database. If you consider one row in this table, you see like student ID, student name, their marks details are kept. Now this row contains logically related information. If you see carefully, like the student ID that is there in the first column and the name Peter Parker that is there in the second column are related. It is not that we have kept one student ID and another student name and another student marks in that row. It is not like that. So all the data are related with each other of a particular student. So that's why we say a database is nothing but a collection of logically related data. Please remember that. Now, before going further, we'll discuss who have developed this SQL. Now, the SQL was developed by two famous scientists, Dr. Raymond Boyce and Dr. E.F. Codd, when they were working in IBM in the year 1970. Now, it was later standardized by two standard organizations called ANSI and ISO, and it was released as SQL 86 in the year 1986, and it has become usable for the normal users. Now, writing and processing SQL queries. So how to write an SQL query? Now, first of all, we need to install the Oracle server, which is a software which enables us to create the database which securely stores the data. And after installation of the Oracle server, we need to install one application called Oracle SQL Developer, which produces or which provides us a GUI based interface called or a window which helps us to write the query, and we can process the query with the help of this window. Now this query requests the database to and retrieve the data for us, required data for us, and it produces in the query output pane the output. So in this way it is working. So as it is a language, it has got several commands, keywords, operators. Now first of all, we're going to discuss about commands, SQL commands. So SQL commands broadly are of 5 types: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL and DQL. So DDL has got create, alter, drop, truncate commands. Now using these commands, we basically define the data in a database. Basically with the help of these commands, we create the tables. That means we define the tables. We can alter the structure of the table. We can drop data or drop the table entirely, and we can delete the data inside a table using the truncate command. So we're going to learn all of these commands in details in our coming chapters. Next is the DML. DML has got insert, update, delete commands. Using these commands, we can insert data into a table we can update the data if somebody's mobile number or address changed. So using the update command, we can update those information. Similarly, we can delete particular records. Next is DCL, data controlling language. Basically, these commands are used by database administrator who has permissions or entire permissions on the database. That means they can perform anything. So they can grant some commands to some user. Suppose there is a user named John who requires create table and drop table permission. So you can grant that create and drop command permission to John, like grant create to John, something like that. The commands you have to write. Okay, similarly you can revoke, take away the permission if somebody is unnecessarily deleting the table. So database administrator can take the decisions, and you can say he can take away the permissions by using the revoke command. All those things we're going to see. Now TCL, transaction controlling language, commit, rollback, save point. So using this we basically save the changes whatever we have made on the database, whatever the changes we bring into the database, like we have inserted certain records, we have modified certain records in the table. Now this thing need to be saved for the future use so that the database remain consistent, so that they can be accessed by other users properly. So using the commit statement we can save. We can roll back also. Roll back means if we have done some changes in the database but we have done it wrongly, so we need to roll back, like an undo operation. Okay, save point. Save point on the other hand, using the save point command we can create some markers, like in order to if we issue a rollback, it can roll back everything till the last save state. But if we don't want to roll back entire thing, we can create some save point markers, like to roll back to up to a certain point. So then we can use the save point command. Next is the DQL, data query language select. This is the particular command we will going to start with, and it is widely used. This language is basically, this particular select command is particularly used to retrieve data from the database. So let's start with the select statement. So select statement syntax. So select asterisk from table name. What you see on the slide is given. Now asterisk means all. Okay, so asterisk is a wildcard character, means for all. If we need to retrieve all the table records without any conditions, all the records we need to show, so including the column headings, then we have to write select all from, in the place of table name we have to give a proper table name, like employees. Suppose it is a table saved in the database and we need to retrieve all the records from it, so we'll write select all from employees. Then select, next statement is select distinct. Distinct is kept within third bracket. Third bracket means it is optional, we may need, may not need, it is not mandatory to write always. So select distinct. Distinct keyword is required if we need to fetch the unique information from the database. Suppose we are querying and sometimes it happens that there are some duplicate informations may come. So if we write like this, select distinct department ID from employees. So sometimes it is required to fetch some column data from a table where duplicate information may come or repeated information may come. So if we need to suppress that, we can use the distinct keyword. It will select only the unique information. So as in the case in the employees table, from the employees table if we fetch the department information or department ID, many employees work under a particular department. So for all the employees, that particular department name or that same department name will go, department ID will going to come number of times. If we write simply like select department ID from employees, so instead of that, instead of that, if we write select distinct department ID from employees, so what will happen, it will suppress the repeated information and it will fetch the unique informations only. Only the unique department IDs will come in the output. Similarly, we can use column lists, like select employee ID, first name, comma, last name, comma, salary, comma, department ID from employees. In this way, the required informations can also be fetched using the column list. Next is select column or expression from table. So there is a requirement sometimes to use the expressions in the select clause, like select employee ID, employee name, salary, comma, salary into 12 from employee. So here salary into 12 is an expression. Here salary into 12, that means the salary information in the form of yearly salary is not present in the table, but we are basically retrieving this by writing an expression. We are calculating it during the runtime. So select salary into 12 as yearly salary. So this type of expressions we can write. Or if we need to fetch the you can say number of years an employee has worked in the organization, like select employee ID, first name, comma, last name, current date minus hired date, divided by 365 as number of years of service from employees. Like that we can see the expressions, or we can use the expressions. Okay, so let's see the examples that we have already discussed. It is given like select all from employees. In details it is mentioned over here. It will retrieve the records, all the records from the employees table. Similarly, select distinct department ID from employees. Select first name, last name, hire date, cease date minus hire date divided by 365. Remember that Oracle, when you perform any operations like this, cease date minus hire date, when you are subtracting one date from another date, Oracle basically retrieves in the form of number of days. Okay, so if you divide it by 365, so it will become or it will be converted as number of years. So as years of service it is given. Okay, further you can say if you convert it into the form of months, in the form of weeks, so you can further modify the expression. Okay, so we have almost reached to the end. So whatever the query we have discussed, so let us execute with the help of SQL developer. So first of all, the query we have seen, to fetch all the records. So select all. See, there is intelligence of SQL developer which is coming, which is helping us to select the keywords or column names. So it will going to fetch all the records from the employees table. You can keep the cursor in the query statement and press Ctrl Enter. It will select the entire query and it will execute it. Ctrl plus Enter. It is processing the statement. The request goes to the Oracle server, and from there the data will be fetched. So you see that all the records from the employees table came. The employee ID, first name, last name, email ID, phone number. So there are many records. Okay, so now if you want to fetch specific column informations, so the column data, like select employee ID, comma, first name, comma, last name, comma, salary. Now including one expression, salary into 12 as yearly salary, yearly underscore salary from employees. Please remember that alias name like yearly underscore salary, there should not be any space. If there is number of words, you may include within a single quote. Employees. Now execute. You can select the entire query and you can press this button, that is the run statement, or you can press the cursor inside and press Ctrl Enter. See, the processing is happening. Yes, the output generated, employee ID, first name, last name, salary, and see, yearly salary got generated with the help of an expression. Now another thing, that using the distinct keyword, you just see, select department underscore ID from employees. if we do this, there will be repeated information coming. You see 90, 90, 90. Now if I use select distinct, DISTINCT, and press Ctrl Enter, you see only the unique information. Now there are some employees having no department got assigned yet, so null value got retrieved. Okay. Now there is one thing, uh, just the salary information that we have faced in the previous query. You see, we can use another keyword called where, which is called the uh, filtering of data. That means all the records of the employees table will not going to be fetched. Using the where clause, we can filter out, we can select the data of that is of our interest. So here we can write salary, where salary greater than 7,000. So records of those employees who are earning salary greater than 7,000 will be fetched. That means those employees employee ID, first name, last name, salary, and their yearly salary will going to be fetched. Okay, so let us now execute the query. Okay, so just you see we have got only 44 records in this case, but previously the query that we have used is up to this, from employees. Okay, now excluding where salary greater than 7,000. In this way you can select this portion and execute the portion. Though it now you see what happened, it has selected the entire thing, but it has executed up to from employees. So what happened, 107 records were retrieved. Okay, that means the query operated on the entire table data, but previously we have used where salary greater than 7,000, so this query got executed or selected only those records where salary is greater than 7,000. Now we will going to understand about where clause in our coming chapter in detail. So where, using where clause, we can select specific data. Please do remember. So I'm ending over here. Next day we're going to discuss more. So today we have discussed about, this is a summary, we have discussed about basic structure of select statement, how to retrieve data from Oracle database using select statement with mathematical expression, select statement with where clause. So thank you, all the best.